Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Monkey Magic for Sony PlayStation 1. We have completed all 4 areas of this little pocket of the Celestial Gardens. I guess you could call it a little pocket of the Celestial Gardens. I don't really know what else you could call it. We got the last part in the last video, and once we press triangle, we will put all these symbols into this door, and we get to fight Refang. We go in, we use the strength magic on ourselves, and we just hit the guy. As for the power rod, where you press square twice in midair, it's not going to work on him, so don't use it. You're only going to be able to use your fists. It's much like the first battle from the very beginning of the game, where you had to fight those 3 guys to enter Subadai's dojo. But as long as you keep casting strength on yourself, you'll never really get damaged or anything. So we go in here, we cast strength, we trigger the strength magic. We actually don't take a whole bunch of hits, and eventually we will see him change weapons. He will get a glaive, then a spear, then an axe. He will knock us silly a little bit, especially with the axe. But as long as we keep hitting him.
Now give me the divine power.
You are truly a powerful and noble warrior, Congo. You've won this battle, but fighting the celestial heavens is not the path to divine power. With your strength, magic, ultimate weapon, and immortality, you have had divine power within you all this time. But these powers must be used wisely. Their highest purpose is to fight our supreme enemy, Dearth Voyd. Go to him now, and use your powers well.
We get a bunch of pickups. We will need the full health to fight Dearth Voyd, the supreme evil being who has wanted Congo to get the divine power so he could wipe out Subadai and the divine guardians once and for all. Maybe not Subadai, but at least the divine guardians. He did want to wipe out the guardians. So we picked up a bunch of turnips. We picked up 2 gory knots and a monkey icon. Once we get up here and press circle, not circle, but X, we will face Dearth Voyd.
And away we go.
Now, this next battle, much like the first one, as long as you keep casting strength on yourself and you're patient, you should be able to do this. I may make this look easier than it already is. Or actually is.
This is the end for you, little monkey.
This battle is easy as long as you're patient and you take the time to take down some of the enemies. And you pay attention to what you're doing.
Oh, you stupid monkey! Oh, Dearth Voyd is angrier than I've ever seen him. Oh, don't look to me for help, monkey breath. I hope Dearth Voyd smashes you flat.
So you get 2 signs of the bond saying switch 1 and switch 2. You want to go to both of these switches on the sides.
Do you think I'd just leave it laying around?
And as you go through here, you do want to fight enemies. I do want to beat this guy up. And the guy who shows up here as well. Want to keep casting strength on yourself. If you can knock any of the enemies into these red insta-death beams, so be it. There are insta-death beams lined up around here. You want to make sure you don't run into them, or else, well, you will instantly die. Once you activate both switches, you can fire the cannon, and you can hit Dearth Voyd. By hitting Dearth Voyd once, you get these things to show up. And I want to set myself on fire so that way I can go through the blue beam and not get burnt to a crisp. And as long as I keep casting strafes on myself, I won't hurt myself at all.
Working hard enough, little monkey.
Okay, we got both of the switches set up again. We got both of them hit and whatnot. Let's go ahead and shatter him. Then fire the laser a second time. Now we have more lasers. We need to use fire and strength again. I accidentally set myself on ice and not fire. That is so easy to mess up, as you can see. So we need to do this again. And I just took out both of these guys by sending them into the instant death beams. That is excellent. I want to see if I can wipe out all these enemies. Perfect. There will be another guy, but I can easily take him out anyway. Alright. There we go. As long as you don't run into the red beams, we're good. Okay. Let us all set ourselves on fire. Let's recast strength on ourselves. And you know what? Let's fight again. And let's make sure we don't run into any enemies either, because that will happen. Yeah, as you can see, I really don't like this battle at all. Just because of all the heck that you have to go through just to make it happen. Just to make winning happen. At least we have infinite magic and infinite lives, so as long as you don't give up, you should be able to do this. Well, I'm killing your dude, so at least I'm doing an adequate job here. And if I shrink this guy, he will eventually go down a little more easily.
I have lived for a millennia, Congo. Do you really think you can stop me?
I need to... Oh, I've already triggered that switch. Okay. I just need to make myself glow yellow again, and then that will be that.
You are nothing. I am all power.
Okay, we got through there. And he is shrunk. So we can now get rid of him. Fire and strength. Do that again. Okay, yeah, we do need the, we do need to be glowing yellow to get through there. As long as we stay low, he shouldn't be a problem. Hey. Okay, we've hit that switch.
Hard enough, little monkey.
I wonder. You can. Okay. Alright. Fire, strength, and fire. Bye, Dearth Voyd!
Stone monkey rules.
And with that, we have just beaten Monkey Magic. Sorry for that brief bit of silence as the points were being tallied up, because this game was a bit of a drag. And I'll explain more after this cutscene.
Runley and the monkeys are free.
They're free and happy.
Congo's defeated us again, Your Highness. Slime Lord was useless. This is all Batty's fault. Come on!
I have lived for a millennia, Congo. Do you really think you can stop me?
But Slime Lord wasn't even in the game. We just beat... And we are back at the title screen. First of all, that ending. Slime Lord was only in the final two or three episodes of the TV show. He wasn't in the game at all, so I don't even know why he was mentioned. 2, Dearth Voyd got destroyed, so why is he suddenly back? Why is there a to be continued? Nothing about that ending cutscene matched what happened when we beat the game at all. And now we have credits, which are in the options. And I might as well play them. And... oh dear, this game. This is a hard game to recommend. Do I really have to press the buttons on the thing? I have to press X to get the credits go. Beautiful! The graphics. They're that kind of thing that was being done in the early PS1 days where you had 2D sprites on 3D graphics. Giving you 2D sprites with more detailed looking levels. And it's kind of a mixed bag, because everything does look all pixely and grainy when you get close up and the action is zoomed in. It looks better when the camera's further away. Speaking of the action being further just zoomed in at times, I'll mention that just a little bit later. The Sound of Music. It's alright, but the music can be repetitive. The sounds are pretty cartoony. At least you have the actual voice actor who voiced Congo in the cartoon voicing him in the game. And you have the other people who did the English voice acting showing up and reprising their parts as well. It's not bad. I can't really complain about it. It does its job serviceably, but it doesn't take long for the music to loop, and it does go on forever. But at least you get some interesting touches the further you go into a level or a part of a level. So there is that. Play control. This is where the game falls apart. The game is a platformer, but it doesn't really lend itself well to platforming. You have a double jump, but when you fall like a stone. You barely have any time to react at times. And that leads to a lot of unintentional damage being taken, as well as falling in the pits when you don't want to, forcing you to restart from a checkpoint or from the beginning of a level, depending on how far you are and how well you're doing. There are also some things that the game does, like the uncontrollable shaking in the cave, which I really didn't like. The action zooming in at times, making it hard to see what's ahead. And of course, there's the dropping like a stone during the whole platforming stuff, which makes getting some pickups and getting through some parts more difficult than it should be. You drop really fast when you go down, and Congo makes this face where you know you're going to take damage because you fell too far down. Unless you have the strength spell cast on yourself. And even then, it can still be frustrating because you still have to do a lot of backtracking sometimes. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of backtracking, but a good amount of backtracking to get back to where you were. And stuff like that is really bad, especially on the later levels, such as the caves and the Celestial Gardens. Also, some of the puzzles, while good, are worse and more difficult than they should be just because of how you select spells. Even when I was fighting Dearth Voyd, I knew I had to use fire and strength spells, the fire and strength spells to get through it, but I kept second guessing myself and I was wondering I was pressing the right button. Heck, I accidentally cast ice on myself and turned myself into a icy statue and fell right into an instant death beam at the bottom of the arena, forcing me to start over. Like, okay, I'm on strength. Am I going to switch to fire? Am I going to switch to ice? I don't know off the top of my head, and I won't know unless I pay attention when I press this button. Like, what will I have if I get R2? Press R2. Will I have fire or ice? When I have strength highlighted? I wish there was a Mega Man style spell select in this game. It would have helped tremendously. And sure, the spell select indicator on the upper right corner does have the spells that cancel each other out opposite themselves at all times. But it just feels, just switching through spells feels so clunky. Especially in the heat of combat when you need to either straighten yourself or set enemies, or we'll set enemies on fire sometimes, I guess. But I guess if you really needed to. Or turn them into ice so that way you can shatter them in one hit or even shrink them. Or do whatever it is that you need to do. I'm going to go ahead and press X. It's... To quote something I said in the caves levels, monkey magic, more like clunky magic. And replay value, once you beat this game, there's really nothing that's going to keep you coming back. You could try to get 100% on all the levels, but here's the thing. That's been made an impossibility because I did find somebody who did a playlist of 100% runs. There's only one as of the time of this recording. I doubt there's going to be another one. And in one of the cave levels, the person playing couldn't get an item item trove to trigger, and they could only finish that one part of the caves with 91%. And I'm guessing there isn't anything surprising that you get out of getting 100% in every level anyway. So it makes me just not want to bother. Also, all 4 of y'all could have done a better job. Seriously. That's another thing. Some of the puzzles were alright. Some of them could have been better. Either because the controls made them rather tough. I wouldn't say rather tough, but harder than it should have been to do them, or they were just complex. Like that one switch puzzle in the last part of the Celestial Gardens that I had to do before I had to face Refang. Like, I really had to think, and I really had to remember what switch in the current set of 3 I'm on the level of right now. Like, there were like 12 switches. I'm like, okay, I'm having trouble trying to figure out what switch I need to press and which pillars I need to freeze, so that way I can get the key and then get on out of here. And then there was a troll one in the cave where I had to get the troll to be on the button, and the button is like pretty much near a wall. And it was tough to get around the troll, and it was also tough to get him on the button in the first place. Those two things in particular really grinded my gears. So yeah, once you play this game, there's not really going to be much of anything that's going to bring you back here. And apparently they use AVIs for this game. I mean, I don't know much about PS1 programming or programming any sort of game, but nice to see they were using that kind of technology or something. Anyway, do I recommend this game? Not really. Give this one a shot if you want. But oh man. This game could have been the saving grace to a short-lived anime series that wasn't really given much of a chance for whatever reason. Maybe because it was doing the whole Journey to the West thing, which had been done so many times before. In live action and in anime form. I mean, we already had Dragon Ball Z here in America by the time this came out. So, this could have been a continuation of what the 13 episodes were. Heck, it could have been a completely different game entirely. It could have been an RPG or something, where we do the whole Journey to the West thing. I mean, I don't know how well it would have done, but I have a good feeling it would have come out better than what we got here. Instead, we just get some pretty weird platforming, and I'm pretty sure that website is not there anymore. I'm pretty sure it's just going to take me to just, oh, site not found, or it'll just give me one of the, give me some message saying it couldn't find the site or something, I guess. But yeah, it's just, the platforming could have been better. Things about the game, such as the game zooming in on you and some of the puzzles and the item getting, could have been better. The fact, I forgot to mention this, the fact that you have to get things, like a certain amount of objects, like a certain percentage of all the objects in a stage to save your game, I can't really complain about the idea until you reach the later levels of the game. By the time you're nearing the end, you need like 90% of everything to... You have to reach 90% with all the things you pick up in a section of a level or in a level itself just to save your game. And given how hard some of the stuff to get is in the game, that's really asking for a lot. I can understand it was like 50, 60, 70. But once it hits like 80 or 90, that's insane. And do I have to keep pressing X? I think I have to keep pressing X. Yeah, I have to keep pressing X. I mean, I might as well just keep waiting every couple of seconds and just keep pressing X. Just so I can get out of these, and therefore we can stop hearing this music for the zillionth time. And Scott McNeil is on there. Some of you may recognize the names here. I don't. Maybe for. Oh, I'm thinking Tress McNeil. That's probably why. And I'm now wondering how long these credits take. So, yeah. While I'm going through these credits, I might as well mention, I don't really recommend this game. If you see it, if you're really interested, if you like Journey to the West type of stuff, give this a shot, but don't be surprised if you're not impressed. Or don't be surprised if you're frustrated either. Because I was definitely frustrated near the end. This could have been, as I was saying, this could have been the saving grace for a short-lived anime series that was never given a chance for whatever reason. Instead, we just got some disappointing platformer game that could have been better in so many aspects. Heck, it probably shouldn't even have been a platformer. It should have been like an RPG where you're just doing the rest of the whole Journey to the West adventure. Like, what happens after Slime Lord is defeated? We could have found out in this game. Instead, it just rehatches what we've already seen, what anybody has seen in the cartoon. We just get Dearth Voyd finally beaten, and then we get an ending cutscene that doesn't match how the game ended at all. And we're finally out of the credits. Good grief. You can tell I didn't like this game. This has been Let's Play Monkey Magic for Sony PlayStation 1. Hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be somewhere in between, who knows. As a matter of fact, I hope the next game is better. Because this drove me up the wall. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.